Welcome to a new portfolio update, and this will be the first one where we will discuss the received dividends from the past 3 months. This will include the months of January, February, and March. I also made some changes to the portfolio, and we're now reaching almost 70,000 euros, so this will be a good one. Welcome back to my portfolio update. My name is Jelle and I am an amateur investor, but I'm taking you on a journey to reach an 1 million euro worth stock portfolio. So we always start with a small bit of news. I picked a global site like this one, and we still see that the war is going on. So there is still insecurity on the markets, and that will be probably reflected in the price going down or sideways because people are insecure about what to do, and who can blame them? I mean, I have kind of the same idea, although some stocks I don't think they are hit as much, and they are probably going to do well in the future. So I will probably buy them, but we will talk about that later. So we will skip the news for now and we will focus on the major assets. And if you look at this one, for example, the top 50 euro stocks, we see that there was like a small dip. If we zoom in a bit, we can see that on the day chart it's reaching the red line. I did buy a bit, but not that much because there's plenty of other things to buy. The FUSA, also the same thing, it reached the red line. And if you don't know, the red line for me is like a technical indicator of now it's an average better time to buy. I mean, if you for example are buying here, it's all fine. I mean, it still goes up, it's all fine. But of course, it's better to buy here or like the dips, right? Of course, it's better to buy when the price dips lower because you get more for less. Same goes with this one. This is more a broad, I think like 500 plus Europe companies. So I rather buy this one than the UEA. Then we have Google. Google is still way too high. We have Microsoft. Microsoft is actually very interesting and I want to buy more, which I probably will do. We see that on the 8-day, like that's almost a week, of course, it's at the red line and slightly past it. So, I mean, yeah, a good time to buy, I guess, based on technical analysis, of course. Nvidia is also reaching on the second day. So this could also be a buy, but for now, I'd rather not. Apple, not interesting at the moment. We have Meta, and then you see Meta is also quite interesting. Then we have Tesla. Tesla is on the second day also interesting, but I mean, I find it risky because they are stopping with electric cars, I heard, and they are now focusing on different areas. I mean, still, there are plenty of customers worldwide, so I want to have a better buy-in, like on the 8-day, like here, this should be better. And then we have a slow buy. Amazon, yeah, still below the second day. And if you look at the 4-day time period, it's reaching over here. So this could also be a good buy. I mean, Amazon, yes, they are hit with the war going on, but at the same time, people need the stuff in general, so they are still buying at Amazon. Then we have Bitcoin. Well, like I said, we are not going to discuss the crypto coins, so let's leave it there. So let's discuss what I bought and sold last month, because there are a few. So last month I bought Netflix because it was very nicely priced. There was a good dip. And then it rose quite fast. So I bought Netflix at 13.02, so the 2nd of February, for 64 euros. And on the 3rd of March, I sold a few for 81 euros. So that's a good profit. I took some profit off the table. So that is in my pocket at the moment. And then we bought some other things. So we bought an ETF. Like I told you, this was the Europe, the 500 stocks from Europe. I bought some more Netflix. I bought Airbus because Airbus is also very nicely like here. We see on the 4-day it's reaching the red line, or it's past the red line. And yeah, like I said, it's a good time to step in then if you want to buy the stock. And based on my what I see on Simply Wall Street, Airbus looks good. Then for me, it's time to have a small dip in Airbus, which means I bought for 1350. I try to buy between 1 to 2,000 per trade, because you have, of course, the service fee, and I don't want to put in that much cash in one position. Although with Microsoft, I actually did buy a lot for 2,100 euros because Microsoft again is of course now at a place where I think, okay, this is, you don't see this a lot on the technical analysts, and I mean Microsoft is going up, going up, going up. Of course, decide for yourself, but for me, I try to keep it simple. I see that on the technical analysis, it's a good time to buy at the moment, and I also know that on Simply Wall Street, Microsoft is also a good buy. At least that's what they are saying. I did not look at the financials. That's something for the future because it takes a lot of time to really reach your a company very well, of course, and it's fine if you want to do that. But I think that the amount of cash I'm putting in is not high enough to justify the amount of time you have to put in. Of course, you can decide for yourself if you want to do it, but I take a chance to just put in the cash based on this. Then we have JP Morgan Chase, a bank, if you don't know, a very famous bank, and yeah, I mean, I like getting dividend, and banks are often a place where you can get it, although JP Morgan is a bit on the lower end. In general, it goes up in the long term, what I have noticed about JP Morgan. Then we have Ageon. It was a Dutch company. It's now German, I think, or it was German to start with. I'm not sure. Also a dividend paying company, and it was also well priced. Then we have BMW. What can I say about it? It's a very famous brand. It's also well priced at the moment. Let me take a look. BMW. You can see that it's below the 8-day red line. Of course, it can go further like it recently was, but again, I think it's a good time to buy. They also pay dividend, so yeah. Volkswagen, I already have in the portfolio, and since the crisis, it only goes down further, so I decided to buy again. Then we have Repsol and Total Energies. Both are oil companies, and since the war, they went parabolic. let me take a look for you. Repsol. Here is, look at this. I mean, get damn. You go up like this, 130% if you bought here, of course. So although this is nice and it was definitely a good part of my portfolio in terms of profit, I decided to sell it. Although I don't like it because yeah, it's paying a nice dividend. But what goes up very fast must come down very fast, or this is often the case. So I think if now the war is suddenly over, or there's peace talks and the war is coming to an end, then you will see this crashing down. So I decided to took some profit off the table, and the rest I will keep because it's a good company and it pays a dividend. So yeah. Then this was it for the things I bought and I sold. And now we'll take a look at the dividend part. So now we'll take a look at what kind of dividend I received last quarter. So from 1 January to until 31 of March. You can see it here. It's in Dutch, so I will translate a bit. You will see here the companies, and this was of course the date and then the amounts. A total of 408, well, not euros, because that's the thing. This is combined with companies that pay in USD, the dividend at least. So this amount is combined between euro, USD, and pounds, so the currency from the UK. This amount is also without paying taxes. So I think that in the end I will receive about 300 euros, which is still nice. It's about 100 euros every month. I think I will receive more because some companies will pay only once every year. So I think the biggest amount will be coming next quarter or the quarter besides that, because I'm thinking about 2,200 plus euro in receiving dividends for 1 year. So this will be on the low side. So what are my thoughts coming next month? Well, I'm thinking of buying Microsoft again. It's a good buy at the moment, with all the unrest in the war, but also with AI. I think that Microsoft will do great, but that's my opinion. I'm not sure, of course, 100%. Can also be, there's also a chance that it goes down even further than this. But what we have seen from the past, Microsoft will probably do just fine. And we also had some other triggers from Airbus in the past. So I might buy Airbus again to just increase the position because I'm in a small loss at the moment, but not that much. But I think that Airbus is also a good time to buy right now because of the war going on. People are less likely to fly. It's all expensive, but there's a chance that it will recover quite fast, and then this would be nice. Of course, there's also a chance that it won't recover fast because there is damage done to the infrastructure and the old refineries. Then we have Vego, Broadcom. This is a company I'm not familiar with, but it's making semiconductors. And what I've noticed about simply Wallstreet, that if we take a look for a moment, so this is a company worth $1.5 trillion, and I haven't heard much about it. So this is also has a bright future, at least that's what Simply Wallstreet is saying at the moment. But it's also very easy to see or to spot that because, yeah, with all the AI developments going on, this company can do very well in the future. So I want to buy this one next week. Then we have Meta. Meta, I want to buy it, but there's just not enough cash. And Nvidia, same thing, not enough cash. And we have the Vanguard ETF. Yeah, it's still possible to buy, but I rather buy it on or below the red line. And now it's recovered for a bit. Not that much. So yeah, that's the plan for the coming month. So we reached the end of the video, but I want to share something with you that I just found it out that I can actually share my Simply Wallstreet account with you. So in the description, I have a link and then you can watch the whole portfolio. And here you can actually see that the current value of the portfolio is 76,000 euro, but I have also some cash in the account, which makes it about 70K. So this is regularly updated and you can just see what I'm doing in real life. So if you like that, then you can follow that link. It's of course completely free. Like I said, this was the end of the video. Tell me in the comments what your thoughts are, what you are doing with your portfolio, what you like to see, and then I will see you in the next portfolio update. Have a great day.